Time to hopefully get our revenge. Wait, was this one cold? No. Wait, I think this one doesn't have a weakness. We're not gonna get terror. Yeah, this one's weak to nature, I believe. Yeah. That's annoying. Well, it's gonna be more annoying trying to. Back to chaos immediately. Ah, that could be bad actually. Barely fast enough. Well, there goes all of our HP. Yeah, the chance of winning is considerably less now. This is the one I think is weak to cold. Yeah, we got terror. Defensive 9 is buffed. Still up 32. Alright, now he's in death. Unfortunately, he's not gone into Crusade at all yet. Life. He's weak to dark. Terror. Okay. That's good. He's in Crusade now, it's good. She's still heavy. Wait. I want to go for Terror. Yeah, oh, you might actually go for debuffs here. Demarcation on him. Hey, Lisa. Terror. There we go. But it wore off instantly. Spellbook Death. Need to make sure I had the dark resistance back in with Rumia. Spellbook life. Dude, we have not gotten Crusade once. Oh, it didn't cure the heavy. And back into death. This is a 9. Gotta get a arena. Spellbook life again. The mommy's in there. Still not dealing damage. True resistance, yeah. Now we just have to wait it out. Go for debuffs. Yeah, there's Crusade, which is a bit. Oh. Yeah, too little, too late. Fine. Get our defense buffs back up. Rumia can cure the other ones. Well, there goes racing. Oh, nice. That drains my MP too. So close, but he should be over. We went to light, so we went to dark. Let's come heal. There we go. The winner is no longer the winner. Anyway, that gives us 3 gold swordfish statues. And also gives us the winner title. We only fought him twice. What do you mean? That was the second time. I'm not counting the first time where I was like just showing him off so I could intentionally lose when I was like level 600. I'd only count it as like 2 actual attempts. I'm just gonna pick a random character, so only one person can have this at a time, like the Dragon God and Mirakumo subclass. Gives stat increase everything, all resistances increases, more of the same. It's also very expensive. Anyway, but the actual thing is, so these are the attacks that the boss actually uses. I don't know if he uses Sword of Light in this game. He might. But he uses the other ones, I'm pretty sure. He definitely uses Mana Storm and I think Staff of Destruction. But basically... Oh, this isn't even like the halfway point to the final boss. The final boss is level 2400. We're not even at 1000. Basically, so Vorpal Blade, just an attack. Also, the running theme you'll see is like all these attacks have bad accuracy except for one of them. Or, okay, 2 of them actually. Half of them have bad accuracy. This one's just like a strong attack. It's pretty expensive to use it, 9 MP, but this one's, 20 MP for 1 attack, which is like half of some characters' MP pools. So you can't really use this one very effectively. It's void element though, so bosses don't resist it. It's just like a neutral hit on them, except for one boss that has resistance. Well, actually, there's more than one, I think. But this is the probably the best one of the bunch. Sword of Light. It's also pretty expensive to use it, but it has obscenely high accuracy, and it barely registers the enemy's magic defense whatsoever. So you can pretty much kill anything with this. It's not like a particularly strong attack, but The fact that it pierces very heavily of the enemy defenses makes it pretty good. And the last one is the one that Leaning Green was talking about the other day with Kogasa. This one's like an okay attack, but the appeal of it is that it inflicts every status condition, and it has a very high chance of inflicting instant death. And some characters, such as Kogasa, have skills which, when you attack the enemy, it factors in less of their status resistance, and a pretty substantial aspect of there's a pretty substantial amount of their status resistance gets ignored. On top of that, there's also Raisin, who she has Intense Vertigo, which gives like a 20% reduction to all enemy status condition resistances. And because we have her Awakening, which is Grand Vertigo, it bumps it up to like 30% or something, is completely ignored, which you can then combine with Kogasa's Sheer Force to inflict instant death on enemies that very well should not be killed by instant death. I want to say they need like 200 death resistance to be immune to it, but I don't know for sure. Okay, so the thing you just mentioned, the enhanced full power Dragon God, that is technically the final boss, but not the enhanced version. Or actually, the enhanced version might be. I don't know if that's its name in this or not, but if it's level 12,000, that's the bonus content basically. If it's level 2400, that's the final boss. It's the exact same boss fight, he just has more stats. But but either way, full power Dragon God is the final boss. Am I going to do the 12,000 one? No. It would take a ludicrous amount of time to get to that level. And the boss fight is identical. So there's no new mechanic to it or anything. It's literally just the fact that it's a higher level boss. I think it's that one right there. That's the Dragon God, I believe. $77 billion health. I'm not surprised. Oh wow, we ran into a metal slime. But it ran away. It actually attacked, but we were still too slow to actually kill it. Those give a fuck ton of experience. And they also have a fuck ton of defense and a fuck ton of evasion. Yeah, Yugi does like 13 million right now. With a proper setup, I want to say Yugi can hit around... I want to say it's around like 1.2 billion for against level 2400 one. If you fight it at the quote unquote hard mode restrictions, which don't actually exist, it's just like a self-imposed thing. That actually might be a tad too high. It might be closer to like 1 billion flat rather than like 1.2 billion. Either way, it's really silly. Like the Dragon God in general, the full powered one, is a pretty... Oh no, there's plenty of characters who can hit that high. I think Tokiko can, Yomu can, Suwako can on a weakness. Piracy definitely can if you have terror inflicted. Yeah, there's a good amount of characters that can. I have a video of the Dragon God if you want to see it get absolutely demolished in like 4 or 5 attacks. Yeah, I mean, what I described is with a proper setup. If you don't have a proper setup, that fight is very not well balanced. To put it into perspective, if at level 2400, oh no, you are definitely not soloing the 2400 one. I'm going to explain why in a second. So to put it into perspective, the amount of HP you'll probably have if you fully invest into HP, if you were to adhere to the self-imposed hard mode restrictions, is like 12 or 13 million health. If you have your physical resistance, so that's the PHY on the bottom left there, which is 388, with 500, which is the cap, it goes above 500, but it doesn't do anything once you're at 500. More than 500, basically, so... But basically, the Dragon God will... And it has, like, multiple phases. So it turns neutral, then it turns red, then it turns neutral, then it turns blue, repeating until it dies, basically. But basically, the red phase... It uses an attack that, with 100 physical resistance, does 50 million damage, and it uses it twice in a row, while giving itself an EX attack buff before each time it attacks of like 24%. So that means with 500 physical resistance, the way it's calculated is it takes 100 as like the is like the neutral essentially, and then like that's your like numerator, and then the calculations is it divides 100 based on whatever your affinity number is. So 100 divided by 500 would be like 0.2. So you take 80% less damage, which is 10 million. And because you only have 12 million health, most likely, if you fully invested into health and no offenses or anything, because he attacks twice, he does around 20 million damage. So you aren't surviving it. It is very stupid. The attack also has boosted accuracy, so you can't even reliably dodge it, as far as I recall. I mean, you can evade it, but it's more likely that you won't, from what I remember. But even beyond that, the actual counterplay is essentially like two characters. I say counterplay very loosely. So Moko has a skill that gives her like a 90% chance to survive the hit at 1 HP, and it keeps her ATB gauge, which is like her action time bar, to be able to act again. It'll stay at 1 each time she resurrects, and it takes like 10 of her TP each time it activates. So you could put her in the first slot and give her enough health that she can at least live the first hit. So she takes 1 hit, then she dies to the second one, then comes back to life. And then in that brief window of time, you have to just do enough damage to get it to phase out of the red phase, essentially. The other character is Akyu, who has, I think it's an 81% chance, but she doesn't have like the penalty where her action bar goes down to 1 and stuff. But Akyu also can make characters invincible for 1 attack. And the second hit of the attack it does, like the two hits it does that do like 10 million, the second one does a bit less than the first one. So if you make yourself invincible, you take the first hit, and then you can probably live the second one, just because it's going to do a bit less damage than the first hit does. So that's your counterplay, essentially. You can also bring Tenshi, because Tenshi has a skill that reduces damage from physical attacks. So that's another option. Tenshi's also good at attacking it, because it's weak to nature in that phase. I'm not sure if I understand what you mean. Oh yeah. I mean, the game eventually just that's in the Infinity Corridor specifically. The enemies level up each time you go past 10 floors. And someone had posted before on like a forum that if you do that enough times, the game eventually just locks up when it tries to load into a battle, essentially. Because the randomly generated enemies are too high of a level that it just bricks the game. That wouldn't happen with the dragon, because the dragon can only go to level 12,000. I mean, it could happen with the players too, but I would assume the players are probably better implemented than that. Like, or the player characters may just like roll over on their stats or something in like underflow. There's no red switch we can hit from here. Or actually, is there? There might be one in that spot down there. But yeah, it's caused by the enemies. They generate at too high of a level that it breaks the game. Probably because because the enemy stats just constantly inflate as they gain more levels. It's probably something to do with that, I would assume. I mean, probably. I wouldn't be surprised. There was a memory manipulation bug in an earlier version of the game where you could theoretically do that, so I don't know if anyone's ever done it enough to where it would actually like break the game, but you could certainly try it. Basically, how it worked is if you went into the subclass menu, I kind of wish I could show it off, but I'd have to leave this place and it would reset the switches. But basically, there's a portion of the library where you can level up your character's library levels, and the position your cursor would be on the library screen would correspond, or I guess be not really correspond, but it would be directly correlated to the same location that the subclass menu where I showed that you could like assign the winner subclass earlier. Which of those subclasses you had selected would take that over onto the library menu, essentially. And because there are so many subclasses, once you went down to like Archmage, I believe it was, when you would go back to the library menu, your cursor would be essentially outside of the boundary of the screen, and you could influence like your levels here, as well as like your base stats, which are like the bars. You could upgrade your level up point, your bonuses and everything. And so what you could do was, because you were inside of like the library menu, so it just assumed you were spending money to level up your stats, which are the numbers on the right side of the screen here. Because it just assumed you were doing that, you could completely like break the limits of these numbers here, which all these ones in green are maxed out essentially. And so you could give yourself like HP boost to level like 1 million if you just kept the button held down. And it would like completely break this screen and everything. And you would have like, you could be like level like 1, but you'd have like 20 million health or something. Like, Zelda Fan has a speedrun of it actually. Because and this was before the Dragon God subclass got added. So like that portion of the game hadn't existed at the time, so there was no Dragon God, there was no winner, but they were still within the code of the game. And by using that underflow, you could actually give yourself the Dragon God subclass before it was actually implemented. And so it was like very buggy, but you could use at the very bottom of the menu on the right here, it says Dragon God Sai. You could actually use that as an attack. And it hits 4 different elements. So you would basically have almost guaranteed bonus damage on almost everything. On top of the fact that you could just make yourself like ludicrously strong. And because it wasn't like properly implemented and stuff, it didn't have an animation. So it was like the very quickest attack you could possibly use. Because all it would do was darken the screen for like a half a second, deal damage, and then undarken, and you'd be able to just continue. And so Zelda Fan made a speedrun out of it, where he just beat the final boss as quickly as possible of like the base game, which took like just over an hour to do. Most of which was actually spent in the menu just buffing up your stats and and just like navigating the dungeons. Also, there was no green switch here, which is very disappointing. It was very bizarre, to put it as like bluntly as possible. I fucked around with it for a bit, and I have a save file where I like fucked around with Renosuke's subclasses so much it turned his portrait here just completely invisible. So there's just I have a save file where there's just no Renosuke portrait, and he has like billions of stats, or like millions, I think. And it didn't break the game, surprisingly. Okay, so we can do the one at the top there, I think. Unless it requires a blue switch. But yeah, what's funny is because the game like receives updates, you can actually like bring your save files over. So I don't know if it would work on the Steam version, but like I could play with the Crazy Renosuke on like a newer version of the game with all the content and stuff. It's kind of silly. Oh nice, the blue switch is already down. Phosphorite, it's just a material, not really that great of a reward, really. I guess if you wanted to make something specific, but I don't think I need that for anything. I'll show off the Dragon God thing. You see it does 1 damage to that guy. That's not a very good attack. It used to be a really good attack at one point when they first actually implemented it. That attack was like a game breaker pretty much against some of the bosses. But then they nerfed it, unfortunately. And now it's really not even like worth using that much. Mostly because it's so prohibitively MP costly. Yeah, that's kind of the case with this game. There was a lot of good stuff in this game. Like, Byakurin, for instance. She's like a very solo character, essentially. Like all of her skills essentially just benefit herself. She doesn't have like any kind of like support for that like benefit other characters. But how it works is she has skills that basically just give her all stat buffs essentially. So 1 for attack, magic strength, or I mean not strength, defense, mind, which is magic defense, speed, etc. And what would happen is, if you had the strategist subclass, which is the one Miko has, this has a skill which is inspirational plan on the bottom right there of the menu. It decreases the rate at which buffs decay, And Byakuran's buffs were so strong that she would actually gain more than she would lose from the decay because of the strategist thing. And she has a spell called, it's like Sutra something or other, I think. No, sorry. No, it's never mind, that's not it. It's Duplicating Chant. Sutra is her skill that buffs her. Yeah, Duplicating Chant is the attack. And what it used to do was it would copy her stat buffs directly onto another character. So she'd be sitting at 100% permanently, and you could give any other character 100% stat buff immediately. So she was pretty good. And eventually they nerfed her quite badly. So she no longer can sustain 100% buffs. And Duplicating Chant just gives a portion of her buffs now instead of the direct copy of them. And it's unfortunately made her kind of crappy. Not really crappy, but she's pretty underwhelming. Especially compared to Sanai. Sanai is like absolutely bonkers. Because the idea was before you would kind of like use them in conjunction. So you would use Sanai because Sanai can buff all of a person's stats. So you would use Sanai to essentially quickly get Byakuran all the way up to 100 and then just use Byakuran to pass it around. But at this point you may as well just use Sanai by herself because she's so good, and I mean, you don't really need Byakuran that much for anything. And because she's so unfriendly to other characters, she essentially just kind of like, you know, like I said, she's like more of like a solo beneficial character that it's kind of hard to like bother even wanting to use her. Actually, hold on a second. I think I want to hit this. Probably the worst nerf, though, is a skill called Extra Attack, which Rin has, Sakuya has. Wait, I can't get back from... Oh, yeah, I can. What am I doing? I can. And so Rin, Sakuya, and Yuka have it. And how it worked was... Oh, we need to hit blue off, and we can't hit blue off. Yes, we can. But how it worked was, you had I think it was a 50% chance, or it may have been like, no, I think it was like 30% or something. But you had a 30% chance to repeat the action that you'd just done, and it can constantly repeat essentially, so long as you're lucky enough. And it was really good for Rin and Sakuya because they're not like particularly crazy strong characters. Rin's a bit better now, but Sakuya is like extremely reliant on it to be worth using. Especially because one of Sakuya's main defining features is that she has a speed buff that affects everyone on the front line, but it costs like a hell of a lot of MP, and Sakuya doesn't have that much MP. And so it was really good for Sakuya because you'd spend like, I think it's 11 MP or maybe it's 16. It's one of the two. But you would spend like 10 or 11 MP, but then you'd get like a 48% speed buff on everyone in the front. And then it could, if you got lucky, it would repeat. You could potentially have like 100% speed instantly on all of your frontline characters for very like cheap, effectively. And so it was really good for her. And unfortunately, Yuka was a pretty problematic character because in like the Touhou universe, Yuka has like a spell card essentially called Master Spark, which then like Marisa essentially copied it from her, and so that's like reflected in this game. Yuka has it and Marisa has it, but the catch was that Yuka only had her Master Spark if you got her Awakening. So it was essentially like a bonus thing essentially that she got if you actually like invested into her. And it was like 20 MP, I think. I think it's 20 or 30 to use it, which is different than how Marisa's works. Marisa just takes all of your MP and does like bonus damage based on how much is consumed. But Yuka's has like a set amount of MP it takes. And so what would happen with Yuka is because she had extra attack, you'd spend like 20 or 30 MP to have a ridiculously strong Master Spark that hits everything for mystic damage, and then you could repeat it over and over again for free as long as you were lucky enough. And so because all the characters had the same extra attack skill, the developer had to nerf it for Yuka, which how they nerfed it was every time the action repeats, it takes half of the cost of what it originally was. I believe it is 30 for it, yeah, and it's like 45 total MP to when you get the repeat. And so this was like really bad for Rin and Sakuya, because Yuka has like really good MP and she has like MP recovery and everything like baked into her, whereas they don't. On top of the fact that Yuka just has a lot more MP in general for that strategy. And so it basically completely ruined Sakuya's speed buffing, because you go for the speed buff and if you're lucky, air quotes, you get punished by having all your MP completely eradicated because you get the chain of speed boosts. And it also actually is even a worse buff, honestly, or a worse nerf actually, because the other change they made was, it's actually two changes to be specific. The other change was they made it so you have an even lower chance of activating subclass skills, which is really shitty because Sakuya really likes them. Like, her elements were kind of iffy. She has like a physical attack that's really weak. She has a wind attack that can't miss, but it's also not that strong. Her best attack is a dark attack, which is single target, but it has like an extremely high... it takes like a huge portion of the enemy's defense in the calculation. So it can get bricked really easily by enemies that have like any kind of defense. And so Sakuya would like really benefit from like the Sword Master class, which gives her a whole bunch of extra elements. And so because of that change, on top of the fact that the other change they made was they essentially universally increased the cost of most of the subclass spells, which was pretty crappy because most of them weren't very good to begin with. Like they were okay. Like, some of them were pretty good. Like, Explosive Flame Sword was pretty good. But then you had some like Iron Mountain Fist, which was a skill from the Monk subclass. It's pretty weak, but it ignores enemy defense by a pretty hefty amount. And because it was like a fairly cheap attack to use, it was only like 3 MP, I think. It was really good early on in the game when MP was very low. Because your MP doesn't get very high until you're like pretty far into the game, like we are at this point. Like, Miko has 95 MP, as you can see. Whereas like at the start you have like 10 to 15. Maybe if 20 if you're lucky. Depending on the character. And so all of a sudden all those attacks are like prohibitively expensive to use when you need them most. Like, they become gradually like less effective as time goes on because your characters just don't really. You generally have more subclasses to pick from at this point, where you don't necessarily need the original ones, and you don't have as much issue with like high defense and stuff, where you would really like to use stuff like Iron Mountain Charge. It was just all kinds of bad just to nerf Yuka. I don't think the subclass cost was specifically because of that, but it was essentially just like rubbing salt in the wound on the fact that they already made them less likely to proc. So it's a really just shitty situation all around. I personally don't think Yuki even needed a nerf, honestly. I can't read that, I'm sorry. Alright. Are we done the top section? I think so. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. So there's a part on this floor where I was talking with Zelda Fan last time I streamed about, where I randomly discovered a spot where you can find metal slimes very often. And I thought I was like just imagining it, but apparently it's like an actual thing based on the golden muscle guys from the other day. I'm gonna go try to get to it so we can check it out to see if we can find any. I'm not sure if we're going to get blocked before we can get there. Okay, I think we are. Alien in green. He's actually streaming right now, Alicia. He told me apparently he had a really bad time with a boss at the end of it. Holy shit, all these... I was watching it while I was working today, but I didn't get all the way through it, so I've not gotten to see the horrible boss fight he had. He explained what happened though, but I think it's gonna be funnier to actually see what happens. There is indeed a lot of Touhou happening. So that's a really awful thing to happen. So the spot should be right here. It should be this little square. So if I'm right, this should be where you find like, yeah, okay. Immediately we find one. Unfortunately, it's probably gonna run away, yeah. But yeah, I found this spot randomly one time in my first playthrough of the post floor 26 content. There's just a bunch of metal slimes here. It's pretty cool. See if we can actually find like an encounter that we might be able to kill. Apparently it's not happening. There may be better spots, honestly. This is just one I found. Which is apparently not staying true, and we may have just gotten lucky. Oh, here we go. Unfortunately, this isn't going to make a difference. Well, maybe. Nice, we actually killed it. So you get a, 5.5 million experience from killing it. It's pretty good, and you can run into multiple at a time. But no guarantee that'll actually happen. I guess would actually be pretty good if I still needed one of those. But if I went and tried the dragon now, I can't even get to him, so. You pretty much have to explore the entire floor. And he would kill us instantly. And there's a boss before you can even get to the dragon as well, who is arguably worse than the dragon, but it's a more balanced fight. Yes, I have spent all of it a few times. We only have 36 million right now. So we have about 185 million experience. So I could probably spend that, but I will later on. Yeah, no worries. I usually spend my money off screen just because I'm a bit particular with it. So I don't really feel like sitting there doing it on stream. But the level ups take it. The experience like takes instantly. So I can do that one on stream. Honestly, the only reason I go through the menus so fast is because every time I play this game, it always devolves into like half the fucking stream just being on the menus. So this playthrough I've tried to like reduce that. Even if it comes with more pain, essentially. If I was playing on my own, like for example, I would be like optimizing the absolute hell out of the team for every single boss fight, but we're just rolling with what we have most of the time, even if it's less optimal. If I play the game Zelda fans playing right now, which is what I'm considering doing after I finish this game, there will definitely be a lot more menus in that game because I am much less well versed with it, I guess is the nicest way to put it. And I play it a lot less than I play this game. Or the first game of this one. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine that, Lean. When I like recorded videos for all the boss fights, like I'd spend so much time just like determining like, okay, if I can't like wreck the boss instantly, like what am I gonna bring for like a quick backup that, you know, doesn't waste time and stuff like that. And like I'd spend so much time just fudging around with different characters to have that ultimately pretty much never ended up mattering. But it just felt weird not to have like a full party of 12 whenever possible. I think there was one boss that I may have recorded. I don't remember if I actually did or not. But it would have been the Kadama goddess, where it's better. It's better to just only have like 4 characters. That may have been, or maybe that was like an old video I had of it that I ended up deleting because I wasn't content with the quality. I do remember having like a video where it was like Honestly, if like the only like justification behind it would be just for like the novelty of, you know, seeing how the game evolves compared to how you do the demos versus the full game. But I can understand just not bothering with it. Yeah, I mean, I can't say I would even do it again for Labyrinth 3. It takes so fucking long to fight the bosses over and over again just to, like, document their behavior so you can explain, like, X, Y, and Z only targets the first slot, or, like, Landra's dark attacks targets physical defense and shit like that. It's like, it just takes so long to figure that all out. Because I didn't have, like, the document that has all the information behind, like, all the spell cards and stuff. So I had to just manually, like, do it all on my own. So I had no idea where you'd even get it. Yeah, the boss AI certainly helps. It also shows the formulas too, which is also really good. As well as, like, status chances and everything. Who is the best at this game? I don't really know if there's a quantifiable metric to that. There's no, like, real way to, like, determine that, Alicia. In terms of who knows the most about the game, I would give that to a person called Fabula Fairs, who used to watch my stream once in a while. I haven't seen them in a long time, but they were like exceptionally knowledgeable of just all the like formulas and everything. I think they, like, wrote a good portion of the more detailed information on the wiki regarding, like all the weirdness where some spells. Actually, I'll show this in the menu so it's easier to visualize. So there are these items that add status effects to your attacks, and there's a bunch of spell cards that have really weird interactions with these, where sometimes they will apply them and other times they won't. And, like, they just know all that information from what I can tell, so in terms of most knowledgeable person, I would probably say it's them. Maybe, like, Thurler, who's done, like, the decompilation of all the stuff within the game, and, like, has, like, tons of paste bins of all, like, the game mechanics and stuff. Or that'd be, like, another person I would consider. And they have, like, the world record speedrun as well. So yeah, like, exactly, right? Like if we need some kind of, like, metric, I mean, there you go. But there isn't really, like, a way to say who is the best at the game, because ultimately it's a single player game with 56 characters who are not all equally designed, so. I think so. I believe Zelda Fan found newer strats that have, like, changed stuff within the route. And I don't know if they've beaten their previous best time. You'd have to ask Zelda fan that one. And yeah, there's also just a lot of like luck involved within the game too. Like I'm pretty sure they didn't first try the final boss. Some actually that in general, actually I'll say, at least 2 of the bosses require getting like a 9% instant death chance. So there's just a lot of resetting with that in particular. Like you don't reset the run, you just reset the game. Or like kill everyone off essentially. And then reload your save file or whatever, or like retry the boss fight. You know, whatever it is, that's fastest. Oops, I used the wrong character. I thought that was Mamizo. But like that would be a huge run killer right there. Because you have to do 2 of them. Reset for the sword thing. I could be mistaken, but I think they actually go for that in the run. Like, not as like a guaranteed thing, but just to get the drop. Because if you get it, it obviously like makes a big difference for Parsi at the end. Because the run essentially works off of where you dump all your money into Parsi's attack stats so she can deal as much damage as possible. And so having a higher attack stat would require less terror be inflicted on the final boss to get the kill. I have not, no. If I were to do one, I would probably use Komachi. Just because nobody's done Komachi yet. And I think that one could be cool. Because she has debuffs and passive regeneration, so... That means leaning green is better. You know, I thought you typoed his name, but I see you did it on purpose. Where do I want to go from here? Help me at all. I need the red switch down. Okay, I think I can see. I think I see how to do that. Just need to get to the other red switch. Oh, nice. Just switched Rumi in. I don't know why I didn't. Oh shit, wait a sec. kind of just autopiloting this. So I'm not exactly thinking that forward into it. Wait, that switch is not in the right state now. I think I messed up. Well, that's annoying. I thought that was what you had to do. Apparently not. I guess I just hit the red switch and then walk all the way around the outside at the bottom. Or top, rather. Yeah, I thought that was Mummy's again. I keep fucking that up. Oh man, it lived at like 1 HP. Oh, so two metal Kadamas here. So is this another spot to grind them then? Or was that just randomly lucky? Kinda curious now. Bring Miko back to the front. Another one. Nice. I'm gonna try a few more to see if that was just coincidence. Now it seems like they actually show up here pretty often. you can't really farm them with if you don't have Aya. And you kind of need Sakya as well. Show also works, but she's not as good. Also, to explain, this is how you spend your experience, by the way. So, I leveled up and I have all these points to use. This is what I'm doing right now. So, like, I could take them out if I want, or put them in other skills, etc. In general, with this game, you kind of don't want to spread yourself thin. So a pitfall that people will run into is they'll do stuff like this. And it's, I mean, because they're probably just thinking in like general JRPG terms, but if you actually do stuff like that, or honestly even like 3 is kind of pushing it. But if you like spread yourself like that, it'll make the game way harder than it is intended to be. Oh nice, Tokiko's over level 1000. Actually, let's go give a boss fight a try. Why not? This one's not going to go well, I don't think. Also, you'll see that boss at the bottom here has respawned. We beat them the other day. We're gonna go fight this one. So, we fought these guys individually before, and now they are together, but they're grayed out. They're just asleep. Not anymore. Three damage. Well, there goes Miko. So that attack it just used, it's called True Great Sword of Calamity. There's an attack that you see often called, not often, but a decent amount called Great Sword of Calamity, which lowers your max HP based on how much you got hit. This one does ludicrously way more damage than regular Great Sword of Calamity, but it has like a ridiculously high defense factor. So you can actually like take 0 damage from it depending on the character. Unfortunately, we don't have a way of doing that, so... That was 2 million with the highest possible resistance to dark attacks as well. So that would have been 10 million damage normally. Oh, now he's buffing them. Well, it actually did a ton of damage. What the hell? And there goes Touhou. So now we have 2 of them to fight. And now 3 of them. And that one is a big jerk. One I just attacked is this one. Chanting entity. So... in the first game, which doesn't actually have like relations to this one, like there's no like story relation or anything, Maribel has like gone berserk. She's like, her power's out of control essentially, and she can like interact with like borders between different like spaces, and so because her power's going crazy, she's like the final boss of the game. And she actually summons these from like other dimensions essentially during the fight. And so that's the idea basically. They're just like they're kind of just like continuity nods essentially in this game. Like they don't have actual relevance beyond just being how you recruit Renko and Maribel. You have to beat all 3 of them individually. I mean, there's a good chance they do. There goes racing. And there's another attack buff. You know, I shouldn't have killed Reimu. I should have saved her because now I don't have an awakening. Go Futo. Oh shit. Well, I didn't realize I was that low. Okay. We could have actually won. If I was actually paying attention. Cause Yugi gets stat buffs for every person that dies. Sorry, Kogasa. We're gonna play it a bit more intelligently. Yeah, she hit 54 million. $25 right there. Gotta go for debuffs instead. I bring Parsian. Okay. Another big punch. Should have switched DB probably, but it's fine. For silence. Oh shit, I realized he's gonna go with that immediately. Oh, that's shitty. Okay. We have a chance now. Debuff their magic. Holy shit, that did a fuck ton. Poor Tokyo. Oh, don't you fucking do this shit now. Sanai, please. Okay, Sanai can act, so that's good. No terror. Oh, sorry, we got silence on one of them. Dude, stop that shit. Okay, we got silence on both of them. Yeah, that's the thing, where they swap your characters around. Some bosses can immediately act after they do that as well. This guy doesn't, but some bosses will immediately do that to you and then they'll attack you. So if they bring in a bunch of your frail characters, they can just instantly kill them. Silence. I'm gonna go for another silence. Like, Terra's good too. It's really stupid. Honestly, it's not fun whatsoever. Keep Miko buffed. We almost got rid of 2 of them. Go for any more silences. That's 2 down. Oh, you fucker, don't do that. Okay, it's fine. Rumia has her turn. Although she healed a lot less than I thought she would. Okay, go for poison. Oh, okay, wait. I thought that set your HP to 1. Apparently not. That's actually fine then. Okay, bring Renault Scan. Bring UV in. Silence. Oh, if I didn't mention it, that attack it just used, Perpetual Insanity, it reduces your max MP. You'll see Miko only has 91 instead of 95. So that's a really fun one. And it can also just destroy your MP, you know, of course. Luckily I have MP recovery on some people. I don't think Racing does. Oh, she does, nice. There we go. Gonna go recover and save first. No, you get something. Don't worry. I'll show you in a sec. That's the wrong floor. Also, that boss fight is the one where the Dragon God attack used to absolutely like melt it. That boss in particular, you could like completely demolish it before they nerfed that. Which one is it? The top one? Yeah. So we get this for beating them. Gives a lot of accuracy. It's an okay item, but the fact that you only get it at this point, it's harder to justify it. Oh. Let's go give another guy a try. We probably aren't going to beat this one, but give it a shot. So this is Fundoshi Man, who's otherwise just the this is actually Renosuke from the first game. Believe it or not. This is his boss portrait. You know who I'm rooting for? Yeah, don't worry. He's probably gonna beat us. He's a big jerk. Dude, I really want him to bring him back with all his crazy powers in the first game. He was so good. Especially because in this game he gets the Ame no Murakumo back at the very end of it. Like it's like the reward for beating Orochi. Like it would be so fitting for him to come back and actually use it. And have like the benefits of the sword. Anyway, we're going to be here for a bit, so setting up for this. If I want to, yeah. I was waiting for him to do that. Let's debuff him. I'll go to Rainbow. Yeah. It will make more sense, Alicia, why we're kind of just hanging around here. As he doesn't seem like a very particularly involved boss fight at the moment, as he's just kind of poking us. If it makes you feel better, I won't say that's not going to happen. Just not at the moment. All this setup may not even matter, like, with what could happen. I want to keep nature. I think I might actually keep... No, I don't want to keep nature. I think I want to go for a different one. I'll go for fire if I can get it. Nice, we got fire. Unfortunately, we can't get our full counter, because then we'll lose fire, which is kind of annoying. Although we'll lose it anyway if I switch a route, so it's whatever. Whatever, we'll just go for 5 stacks. Oh, we got fire again, okay. Bring Rainbow back in again. I bring Rainbow in because she has a skill that reduces the damage from spirit attacks, which is what that one he just uses. And since it hits everyone, it's just a pretty good one to go for. We'll buff Kogasa as well. She might come in handy. Okay, I might as well see if we can get Terror. Hopefully that gives us reading. It did not. When everyone gets buffed, we'll be going forward. Don't worry. This is very much a fight that you want to just prepare at the start. Even if it's boring. Please give us reading. Come on, dude. Tokiko, why? Okay, maybe does she not get it if she doesn't deal damage? No, that can't be it. I think we're just getting really unlucky. Whatever. We'll go for it after. Also, I should probably make sure she doesn't die. Yeah, this guy's kind of like one of the most infamous bosses from the first game. He's like the big roadblock for a lot of people. So, that's kind of why they brought him back in this one. It's like a continuity nod just to say like, hey, people who played the first game, remember this guy? Well, he's back. Well, in the first game, you don't get to do that, so... He's like a huge asshole in the first game. And that attack he uses after Concentrate right there, the one that hits everyone, he'll just use that at complete random in the first game. It's funny too because it's a composite attack in the first game, and it targets it uses his attack in magic against your defense and magic defense. And so characters that have like really high magic defense, like Patchouli, even if they have like no defense, because it combines them together in the calculation, they end up being really tanky. But if they don't have buffs, they just get absolutely one-shot instantly. Because he's like fast as fuck. Although it's not the same in this game. Guy better have a face too. He's got a bit more than just a face too. What do we get first? Nature? This is like the worst one too. Oh my gosh. No. Remember when he said he's gonna use remember when he said he wanted to see a 1 million damage attack? Well, he's about to use one probably. I think it's on the second attack he'll do it. Yeah, it's on the second attack. We lived it. Barely. And now he's buffing his magic. Oh shit, he was just physical. I didn't realize. Uh-oh. I thought he was neutral to everything except for wind and nature. One of his coolest attacks in the first game, which just looks like Cass's attack in this game. Huge downgrade, unfortunately. It's called The Word is... the World is Word for... or Forest or something like that. Really, it's like a really cool looking one in the first game, but it got a huge downgrade in this. The word for world is forest, is what that attack is called you just used. I don't know why, but that's what they called it. Okay. Now he's in cold. I don't actually remember what this one does. Probably, we go for Mamizo again. I don't know if we do or not. No, let's go Mamizo. Oh, that did a lot. Okay. Please. Leave my characters alone. Okay. Free the attack. Also, Alicia, he uses these attacks in the same order every time as well. That's how I knew he was going to do that 1 million damage one. So. I don't remember all the phases, I just remember that one. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Alright, never mind. Apparently that has like... Oh wait, he's hella debuffed. You made the mistake of Googling his search. Oh no. I'm so sorry. You totally sound sorry, I'm sure you were thinking. What is this one? Fire? Shit, what's he weak to? He's weak to cold, what am I thinking? Mamizo has cold, I guess we're just gonna keep using Mamizo. Yeah, you only have like 5 attacks to kill him, and then he'll switch his phase. He'll switch to a different element. And I don't know if they changed it in this game, but I believe when he's out of the phase, if you didn't kill it, he starts regaining health in that phase. They may have changed it in this game. It works like that in the first game, at least. Yeah, I think that's the last attack he uses, so he's gonna phase switch in a sec. So that could be bad. I think the only one he has left is Wind. So he has more phases in the first game than he does in this one. Okay, wait, we have a chance, I think. Okay, we got him. Alright. So now he's in Wind. I think this one might be one of the shittier ones. I don't remember for sure. What do I want to do? Just Yugi. Okay. I wish we could get some debuffs, but apparently that's never gonna happen. Healed up. Okay. Apparently this is actually not going too bad, but his last attack could be shitty, so you never know. Oh, that, yeah, huge debuffs on everyone. Luckily I have this. I'm glad I actually invested in that. Oh, she's fucking heavy. Shit. Okay. The final phase could very well beat us, yes. He has a lot of fucking health. And he has no weakness. But he's weak to debuffs. But basically he's going to give himself an EX buff every time he gets a turn. Well, not every time, sorry. He's going to give himself an EX buff and then take his turn to attack you. Fuck, that killed Yugi. Okay, that's really bad. I thought she might live it. Okay, we may lose now, for real. No terror. Okay, we got terror. There's a chance. Silence, danger. Of course it wore off. And of course we didn't reapply it. God damn it. Okay. Bring a race in, I mean the Raymond in for the resistance. That's 16%. He's got to keep getting terror on him. Eventually he'll get too strong to where you just can't live. So. Why am I just realized I was debuffing his attack. I should be debuffing his magic. The attack uses magic. Okay, get more terror. Go, Kogasa. Got it again. I'm gonna bring in Parsi for the dark damage. Okay, we have to heal. Oh, does it use both? Okay. I couldn't remember. Nah, they probably use the same one. I should have healed Parsons shit. Wait, he's gonna have buff. Never mind, we can. Yes, we got him. I honestly didn't think we were gonna win that. I want to save. Dude, Kogasa is the MVP of this playthrough. I should actually read what the text says. Okay. And that gives us this item. Yeah. Also a cool item, but again, you know, not that great. At this point, really. Where the equipment stat scales down. Anyway, I gotta be right back really quick, so. Well, we're not gonna beat the last one, but we can at least try it, I guess. Just for fun. It's like, I'd say there's probably like a less than a 0%, as if you can even have that chance to win this. But oh hey, he actually has new artwork. I believe in living Gaia Reach. I believe in dying before we even see him use the Mediarahan. It takes effort, that's why. Anyway, this is King. This fight is completely scripted, essentially. Like, the actions that King will use will just repeat. Same with the summons. This is actually a recreation of a boss fight from one of the Shin Megami Tensei games. Which happens to be, like, the hardest one out of all of them. just make it even more fun. Like, these are supposed to be the demons that the guy summons. And so you have 15 turns to kill these, which, you know, isn't that hard. Because if they get to do 15 things, they will cast a full heal on the boss. There's 6 of them in total he will summon. If you kill all of them, the boss instantly kills you. Now, you might remember that I mentioned there were revive skills in the game before, or like resurrection. If you have one of those and it triggers on that attack, the boss gets a permanent stat buff. And then continues from where it left off. So oh, nice. That should set the tone right there. Yeah, I think that's like his second last summon. They come out in a specific order, so... One damage. That's with Yugi, who has like one of the highest attack stats in the game, and this dude's debuffed. Oh nice, remove debuffs. But yeah, all these attacks that it uses are basically the attacks from Shin Megami Tensei. So like, some of them have the actual names, some of them don't. paralysis. Nice shredder. Oh yeah, that's his nuke attack there. Not the one that wipes you, but that one's pretty much like a party kill. A party member that's gonna die whenever he uses it, unless you're like sufficiently leveled and statted. I just want to get him. I just want to survive enough so that we can see the cast where they heal him. It's funny. We may die before then. Oh, there it is. So yeah, that fully heals. There's the other one, so that's another full heal. So yeah, that's basically the fight in a nutshell. It's very hard. It is, actually. If you have a good setup, you can, like, delete the boss really easily. But that's not going to happen with our team. I mean, that also is part of it. Like, the fact that we are average level 954 and the boss is 1200. But yeah. If you have like a really good setup for that guy, you can plow through his HP because he's hella weak to spirit. But it probably won't happen with our team. It's pretty good, yeah. I would agree, it's one of the best ones. Certainly one of the like harder ones to micromanage. I'd say it's kind of like Kulix done right. Do I have access? Damn. I wanted to go try the Kogasa thing, but we don't have the rock. what to do then. We still have a few things here to get. Actually, what was that rock here? Was this the Infinity Corridor one? Yeah. What party was I using earlier? Oh yeah, it was Futo. That's right. It was Sanai last, I think. I need blue and green. Okay, that didn't work how I thought I was going to do there. I pick one. So I was thinking I could hit the blue switch to hit the green switch, and then hit the blue switch back off. Trying to see where, but I can't. I'd have to hit the green switch first, though. I can't leave from the blue switch. Or actually, I can. I didn't see that spot down there. I think that's what you have to do then. So from here, does that help me? It does not, because I can't hit the green switch. Never mind. the blue switch here, does that change anything? Turn red off, it does, but I need red on at some point. Let's look at the one that's near here first then. The other one, I need red and green off. Am I just stuck here or not? It's like I can see like how to do it, but it's like trying to just piece it together individually to make sure it actually works. It's kind of like having me second guess myself. Okay, 3 I can immediately name: Winner, the Unicorn, the Serpent of Chaos. So those 3 for sure. I mean, you know, they're part of like the game lore essentially at this point. Like, they've been around the whole time. The Unicorn didn't get into the first game, but he has concept art at least. I know, but okay. See, that's what I wasn't sure if you meant as well. If it had to be bosses that were exclusively in this game. If it's just exclusively in Labyrinth 2, I would say I kind of want Murakumo V3 to come back again. As not as like a plot relevant thing, just as like a bonus boss essentially. That would be one. Let's see. That's the other one I really like. I'm trying not to pick the ones that are like cameo, that just like rip the fight from another game. Like, I don't want to pick Demi-Fiend because that feels kind of like a cop-out answer. I kind of like the Great Ring of Power boss, honestly. That one was like really cool to figure out how to play around it the first time. Besides that, I'll come back. Abyss Yukari is another one. If they fix the bug with Maribel at least. Assuming she has that skill in Labyrinth 3. It doesn't have to be the orbs, but I would like a boss like that as well. That has like a punishing mechanic where you have to win the fight by defeating multiple enemies before another one gets to act. And it doesn't have to be the exact boss, but I would like another boss like I would like another boss like Shredding or Arya, where you're effectively on a time limit before they drain you of resources. Whether it's your HP or your MP, gradually being drained lower and lower until you can't do anything. I actually really like that as a mechanic. What am I doing now? I am trying to get to that last spot right here. I realize it's kind of hard to tell what I'm looking at exactly, but the one with like the blue-green circles. That's like right below Raymond. Oh, dude, if there's random encounters that do that, I will fucking be so mad. Or if they have attacks that like lower, like that attack your TP directly. Oh, if they not do that, I'll be really mad too. The first time I saw that with Murakuma V3, I was like, holy shit, he destroyed my TP with that attack. What the hell? I didn't even realize what was happening when he did it at first. I was like, I like saw him do the attack, and I was like looking everywhere to see what the hell happened, and I finally noticed Moko has no TP, and I'm like, oh my god. My resurrection. Yeah, that one too. But I fought the sword first, so I saw the TP attack there instead. Yeah, so I think I just go up here. Hit this one. I feel like that one won't come back, honestly. Well, unfortunately, we have explored everything that we can go to right now. Except for the basement floor. And we are still not strong enough to explore that without just running away from everything. So the only thing we can do is the corridor. And I don't really know if I feel like doing the corridor at the moment. Oh, that's interesting. So you can scroll with left and right to like jump a whole bunch, but it doesn't like re-roll the page if you scroll to the right here. You can go down to go to the top, but the right doesn't work. I never knew that was a thing. Oh yeah, Winner's level 1200 in the Bestiary, even though he was level 1000 when we beat him. Which is because of the fact that he gains 200 levels every time you fight him. I have beaten some of the floor 11 enemies. Worst enemy in the game. Is that including bosses or just random encounters? I would say it's probably this guy. I mean, it could also be oh, these are weak to death. I forgot about that. These fairies are pretty bad too. They buff everything, and then they just set... they buff everything and then just set your health to 1. while also inflicting terror with Stranger MP whenever you get a turn, and paralyzes you. And they're fast as hell. If you're not using Aya or like Chen, you'll probably have a really bad time with these guys. Well, it's not that they're hard to kill. It's that they're insanely fast. And because they're so fast, they buff everything else on the field. And their buff doesn't waste their turn. And then they just set your character's HP to 1. So. And you can't evade the attack that sets your character's HP to 1 either. It's a guaranteed hit. There's no counterplay to it at all. So. Oh, I get it. Let's see. You're funny. Alright, let's just make Winter's Clothing. Since that's the only way to get it. I think I may just stop here, and then I'll do some more leveling on the basement floor, which I don't have a very effective strategy at the moment, so I have to work around it quite annoyingly. Thanks to instant death. But, yeah, I'll get more levels, and we can do a whole bunch of, like, the corridor, and, as well as fight King, probably. And we'll be strong enough to actually explore the basement once we're higher level as well. And then we can unlock the rest of floor 30. And then we get to mess around with Kogasa once we do that. Since a number of those bosses can definitely be killed by Winter Kogasa. I checked the resistances, and there's a hell of a lot of them that are within the range to get sniped by that. Fortunately, it costs so much MP, but it'll be fun when we do it. So, anyway, that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. Yeah, exactly. Good thing Kogasa's MP regen. Imagine if it was the unnerfed Kogasa that had 32 MP recovery. And she would get 64 from using Concentrate. Thanks for watching.